Google ruled as a legal monopoly by U.S. Court. What now? Google recently lost its antitrust lawsuit case, and the judge responsible in this case has ruled that Google is an illegal monopoly and uses illegal tactics to maintain its dominance. And while the legal system generally takes the sides of the wealthy, this time, it seems like money was not enough to revoke the conviction, or change the outcome of the court case. Google says it will appeal the ruling, but this will likely go not in the favor of Google, but in the U.S. legal system, and if Google loses their appeal, it could mean there will be some big radical changes the company has to make in order to prevent unwanted penalties and problems. Google pays Apple, Samsung, and Mozilla over $20 billion to have Google Search set as the default search engine, which is an obvious example of escalation dominance tactics. These tactics are used to escalate a situation, in this case, Google's search engine market share. So if Google wants everyone using their shit, it's simple: pay Apple, Microsoft, Mozilla, and other big-name tech companies to use their services and products, and look at how well this has worked. But it might not work for much longer, as Apple is underway with their potentially revolutionary search engine. Amazon is also working on search, combined with artificial intelligence, and Google's loss of a court case could swing in some hefty fines for the company to pay off. But to them, it's just a slap across the face. It's not like it's the end of the world. But I told Google that if they kept being the dominating assholes that they are, that one day, it will bring about their own downfall. I guess the CEO is too busy drinking Google cocktails to worry about the impacts their products and services is having on society. Google Search is so bad that it makes Microsoft Bing look good, and how pathetic is that? Google Maps is so useful it sends you out to the middle of nowhere, and the big fat fucking G just wants your money, your data, and nothing more. They are no longer interested in offering a valuable service, or a product. Instead, Google wants you to jump on the AI bandwagon, pay a few dollars to perform a search, and when they tell you to eat rocks, you better follow the dear leader, or else there will be serious consequences, such as being permanently banned from using Google services. So if you don't eat your rocks and put gasoline on spaghetti, you better be prepared to stop it or cop it, because Google will happily smack you 100 times till you eat your rocks and gasoline spaghetti. Maybe this should have been pointed out to the judge investigating Google, but whatever. The court has made up their mind. Funny that this time money was not enough to change the outcome of a conviction. In most cases, the person who has the most money almost always wins. In some cases, the rich bastards can be immune from prosecution or criminal penalties, and in America, corporations have rules and laws that essentially makes them unaccountable. Again, in most cases, this is true, but for some reason, it seems like Google is actually being held to account for something that they have done for more than a decade, and the dominion of Google worries people, because if that many people really are using their stuff, then what does Google do with all that data? Do they sell it off to data brokers who can then make a living off of user data? Well, the answer is obvious. If one company owns everything, they can change anything they want. And since Google basically has the monopoly of the search engine market, and browser market might I add, it brings concern over the practices that the company engages in. Google is well known for offshoring its users and their data for profits. In Turkey, a citizen had his life ruined because the government of Turkey demanded that Google hand over his data, and now, he is rotting away for nothing. Yep, nothing. And you think freedom of speech is something we have in America or Australia? Well, I would hate to have to remind you that there is no such thing as free speech, or freedom and liberty. Even choice is an illusion designed to keep us distracted and believing that we have choice, when in reality, your vote doesn't make a fucking cent's worth of a difference. If voting made a difference, they would make it illegal. Good deeds do not go unpunished. Hard work never pays off no matter how hard you work. And you can never do anything on your own in this world because everyone else is always trying to do it for you. What a bullshit fucking world we live in. Swear words should be the least of your worries. Fucking snowflakes, suck it up or get the fuck out of here. Those are your only options. See how little choice we really have. Don't give me this bullshit of Linux lucky liberated. Linux does not give you any more tangible freedoms or liberties than does Windows or Mac OS. This is childish culture war bullshit designed to distract us. Once again, everything is about keeping you distracted. Even Google does not want you searching. They just want you to be happy with what you see. You see what we let you see. You hear what we let you hear. And any effort to combat this will result in a visit from your local law enforcement agency, who will tell you that it is illegal to modify search queries in such a way that it gives you the answer you're looking for. Then he will slap a massive fine on some paper, slap it on your back, and then place you under arrest for trying to defend against illegal monopolistic markets. Now you're going to jail just for modifying your Google search query. But this shall show you the dystopian reality of the future we are headed in. The police will have so much power that literally anything is at their discretion. Corporations will be so brain-rotted that humanity and ethics simply matter no more. And the people will be so defeated that there is literally nothing we can do to stop the rise of a dictator like Hitler from coming to power and bringing the world to its knees. But it's not Nazi Germany we have to worry about, it's the big fat fucking USA, who will start a goddamn fucking pointless war with China, and then drag its allies down with them. America loses the war with China, and America becomes a third world country. That is the likelihood of our future, and I am almost certain that China will become the next Google. They will invent some revolutionary products that will ironically de-Google Google. They kind of already have their own Google search, under the name Baidu. But it's possible they might actually want to make a Chinese cloned copy of Google, and I do not blame Xi Jinping if that's what he wants to do, to compete with the American tech giants. So Google, a word of advice, don't fuck us over, and we will remain your best friend. You do something that sells us off at the slightest, we will abandon your platform and never come back. Leave now and never come back. Nobody likes you. Judge Judy will have to decide whether or not Google should pay some hefty fines, and possibly lower their Dominion tactics. But until I hear about the outcome of this lawsuit and the consequences it has for Google, I cannot say anything for certainty. However, it's quite likely that Google may have to consider lowering the Dominion, which means they will have to stop forcing other companies to have Google as the default search engine on their products, which will help Google lose billions of dollars. But that's what those greedy assholes need after years and years of destroying a market which was once flooded with true competition. Now, you have so few search engines and browsers which do not use Google's proprietary source code on base. Google is like the big telco company who owns the infrastructure and buildings. Everyone else runs off of Google's infrastructure, kind of like how most alternative telcos run off one of the big players. Because true independence is impossible in such markets. You cannot be independent when one person owns everything around you, and when you try to go your own way, nobody wants to even pay you a visit, Moji, and sometimes, worse yet, it can land you into serious trouble. Do not give the pigs a reasonable excuse to pay you a visit. Remember, you only have to arouse reasonable suspicion, and they will be onto you. Big Brother is watching you. Except there is no poster this time, it's on your cell phone. Big Brother is staring at you through the camera. Big Brother is listening to you with your phone's microphone, and he can see and hear what you're doing. And in the future, Big Brother will be able to monitor you from outer space. Scary, isn't it? Well, the only Big Brother we have to worry about is Google and its abusive power model. I hope the court can punish Google with a decent penalty that will hopefully make the company learn from its mistakes. But you know what? Google is like our world leaders. They don't seem to learn from past mistakes. Google keeps doing more of the same, and refuses to listen to their users, even at the most important of times, like now, where user feedback might actually be helpful in preventing another lawsuit being slammed on Google's ass. But Google wants money, data, and nothing more. So what else can you do but hope that the legal system can hopefully actually do the right thing for once and for all? Maybe Google will be like Donald Trump, immune from any form of prosecution or penalties, and the court may not punish them at all. And if they do, they will probably just tell Google to not be so dominant, and I bet you after this court case, Google will do everything it can to become as dominant as possible. which could bring up another lawsuit, only this time it might actually bring about the end of the Google empire, and Microsoft and Apple are to follow suit in their antitrust cases. Apple is still fighting a losing battle, and Microsoft could be served an antitrust again at some point due to their nasty spyware business with Microsoft Recall, but until then, let's just hope that this gives other, smaller players a chance to level the playing field. DuckDuckGo now has an opportunity to welcome in a flood of new users, so go try out DuckDuckGo if you have not already. It's goated for privacy. Start page is a decent option if you need Google-like results, without the nasty stuff that Google does with your data, and Mojik is an independent player who keeps building an impressive, large index with the intention of providing a better quality experience than what Google can offer, and as much as alternatives exist, there is a small problem: nobody cares, and nobody wants them, so no matter how much you shout, Google is selling you. You are the product with Google. Google sells your data for money. You could rant all day till the cows come home, and nobody would bat an eyelid, but unity is important if we want a tech revolution. We must stand together, unite with one another, and say fuck you Google, we will not use your shit anymore, fuck you you greedy ass motherfuckers, and everyone stops using Google in favor of something else, but that's not going to happen even if you wish for it. Google will keep being number one, until one day, the Google empire will vanish out of existence when a new ass kicker comes along and gives them a taste of their own medicine. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next video. Bye for now.